everyone. Thanks for being here. My name's Tracy. I had already mentioned grab either a beach towel rolled up kind of thick or a block. And we're going to start on our back, and then I'll just talk through what we're going to do as we're starting, because 45 minutes goes by fast. So take your block or your towel or your blanket and put it right between your shoulder blades. So you can put your block in the horizontal setting, or you put your towel in that same spot. And then when you come down, interlace your hands behind your head so you have support for your head and neck. And then come down gently onto your towel or block. And you're going to hold your head. And if it feels okay, you can stretch your legs out. And then let your head hang back. Let your elbows kind of open up. But we're resting our skull in our hands, so we're not straining that neck. And let the rib cage open. So today we're going to focus a little bit on the thoracic spine as we move through all those foundational like sun salutations that we've done the last couple weeks. But we will be adding some things onto those today, a little bit more. You can close your eyes and just start to take some deeper breaths here. So the thoracic spine is the middle part. It's like the 12 vertebra, makes up 12 vertebra. So above the L7 that starts, and then below your cervical spine, your neck. So we're going to kind of open up that space. Want to open up the chest. If you are working from home, or you're at a desk for many hours throughout the day, it's nice to be able to just open up this space, because we're so rounded in a lot of activities, like being on a computer or driving or even doing dishes, and just rounded forward. So just breathe a couple more nice deep breaths into your heart space, into the front of the ribs, the sides of the ribs, and the back of the ribs. Your feet can be on the floor with your knees bent or your legs out long, just whatever feels better. And bringing yourself here, your mind, yourself here for this movement practice. I feel like since my class is not so traditional yoga, I would like to just kind of call it more of a movement practice with a little bit of yoga. All right, so you're going to carefully just lift your head back up, use your abs to help that, and then roll off of that towel or block, and then take the towel or block and put it in between your thighs, knees bent, feet on the floor. Walk your heels in towards your glutes, place your hands on the tops of your thighs, and then lift into your low bridge. So we're going to send the tailbone more forward towards the top edge of the mat, but poke around, glutes are on. Hands are kind of at the top of the thighs here, so you're pushing your glutes up into your hands for a moment, and just feeling those muscles engage. And then contain, you can even take your hands and do it, contain your ribs in towards midline, and the low belly pulls in towards midline and down, and holding that, but breathing naturally. And then we'll reach our hands up to the ceiling like you're saying stop. So the wrists are an extension, like you're holding a tray above you. Spread your fingers wide, and then take your left hand on top of your right and guide the fingers down towards your face. So stretching the fingers, the palm, the wrist, the forearm, preparing for weight bearing on those hands and wrists. Take a nice big long breath in as you're squeezing the glutes, and then exhale through your mouth. And switch hands. Make sure those fingers are spread nice and wide, right hand on top of the left. Push the heel of the hand up. Keep pressing those feet into the ground, feeling some heat build into those legs. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, let it go. And then release. I always like to just roll up my wrists a little bit here. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time, come on down. Your sacrum, you don't need to press the sacrum down. Just bring the low back down, and then let the sacrum just gently come down. So keep a natural curve in your low back. Keep the block or the towel or the pillow between your thighs. And if you don't have anything, that's okay. Send the feet up towards the ceiling. We're going to start our abdominal work here. Squeeze the block, interlace the hands behind the head. This time, point your elbows up towards the ceiling. So when we lift up, let your skull rest into your head. Take an inhale breath. And exhale. So we're letting the skull rest into our hands, not our head. Lift up, hug the belly down and in towards midline. Flex your toes, maybe serve your ankles, spread your toes apart, and then inhale lowers you down. Exhale, lift up off the shoulder blades. Try to avoid pulling on the head and neck, and then inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So we're getting that core activated here for practice. So now lift up and then lift your tailbone slightly off the mat and squeeze your sits bones together. So you're gonna just put some engagement in the butt cheeks there, as if you can bring them towards each other, and then release that down, lower the head. Exhale, lifts you up. Lift the tailbone slightly. So the top of the sacrum is still on the mat, and then squeeze the block, squeeze your glutes, and then release it down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. We'll add on. Lift the tailbone slightly, and then through your rib cage, twist to the left. So it's a very small movement here. Come back to the center and inhale, lower. Exhale, lifts you up. Tailbone slightly lifts, twist to the right, just through your rib cage. So it's really small, getting into your obliques, and then come through center, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up off those shoulder blades, lift the tail, turn to the left, reach your right arm up towards your left shin or ankle. Try to lift your left shoulder blade off the mat, and then release the hand back, turn center, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Tailbone slightly lifts, twist right. Left arm reaches towards the ankle or the shin. Lift your right shoulder blade off the mat. Return the hand, inhale to center, lower. Exhale, one more on each side. Twist left, reach right, and hold. Tailbone slightly lifting, and then hand behind, come back to center, inhale, lower, last one. Exhale, lift the tail, twist right. Left hand reaches, reach the right elbow up, bring the hand behind, come back to center, and bend the knees. Get rid of the block, move it off to the side, hug those knees into the chest, rock a little side to side, find a little bit of movement. Just feel into the hips, feel into the low back. And then we're gonna bring the feet wide on the mat real quick. Take the arms overhead, grab for opposite elbows, and then let your knees go to the right, but don't let them flop down. Push the inner arch of the left foot into the ground and the outer edge of the right foot into the ground, and then try to stretch up through that left side. So we're just really opening up from that left armpit all the way down to the left hip flexor, so down into the psoas, that left rib cage. And then come back through center, knees to the left. If you did the opposite, that's okay. I might have even said the opposite. And then right elbow, kind of reach it up even more. Try not to let your knees just flop down. Put some pressure into the inner arch of the right foot and the outer edge of the left foot. One more breath into that right side. And then bring it back to center. All right, let's hug those knees in, rock and roll lengthwise. Come on up to hands and knees. And then we're gonna come down right away onto our forearms for dolphin pose. This is such a great shoulder strengthening exercise. It's challenging though, do what you can. So elbows are under the shoulders, palms are pressing down, or interlace your hands together if that feels better. Hug the belly up and in, let your head drop so you're looking back at your thighs, tuck your toes and lift your knees and hips. So that pike up action, like we did on our back when we were lifting the tailbone slightly, do that here. Head is not pressing into the ground, so it's our shoulders and our upper back and our core that's supporting us. You can wiggle your right foot into the center of your mat a little bit more, and we're gonna lift the left leg just to hip height. So you've got this nice long lever, so it's a little more challenging. And then we're gonna just take that left leg out to the side, so abducting, and then back in, out to the side. So try to avoid moving your pelvis. You're keeping your right leg nice and strong and active to hold you. And then take that left leg out to the side, turn your toes kind of down towards the floor, and then tap your left toes down and lift them up. So your right leg, your right hip and pelvis are super stable. Your shoulders might be burning a little. One more time. Bring your leg back to center and lower the left foot. If you need a break, take it. Otherwise, left foot to the center, right leg lifts. Start to send that leg out to the side. So it's just at hip level. Same thing, other side, just out and in, hip abduction. And then take it out to the side, hold, turn your toes down, and then just gently tap that down, lift it back up. So we're working and strengthening that outer hip. Left hip is working as well. One more. Bring that leg up to center, down, and then come down, child's pose, just real quick. Send your arms back for your child's pose. Rest your shoulders, forehead down. Nice big deep breath in. And let it go. Okay, arms forward. We're just gonna come right up and stand at the top of our mat. Come all the way up. So a nice way here, standing, to find that nice neutral pelvis and that triple S that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, is to take your left hand to your sacrum and your right hand behind your head and kind of line all that up. So you're gonna kind of push the back of the skull into your hand so the chin pulls in towards the throat. And then notice if you're kind of sticking your butt out. It's not a tuck of the tailbone, but we want to have that kind of flat sacrum, belly pulling in, and then arms by your sides. So that's kind of your neutral alignment. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold with that long spine, belly to your thighs. Step your right foot back and lower your right knee and the top of the foot. 90-90 lunge, arms reach forward and up. We're going to pause here for a moment. Front foot drags back energetically. You'll notice that when you drag that front foot back, your right glute will activate. And if it didn't, just put your brain in that right glute and turn it on here. One more breath, reach up, find all this extension through those arms, and then hands land, step back into your plank pose. Push the earth away, but I also want you to glue the shoulders, the scapula, the shoulder blades onto your back. Hug your belly in, find that triple S alignment, skull, shoulder blades, sacrum level, and then lower your knees and come down. Bend your elbows nice and slow. Keep the head of the shoulder blades lifted, tops of the feet glued to the mat. Peel the hands back as you peel the chest up. So drag the hands back for cobra and then lower. Tuck your toes, push up to plank and down dog. You can always push up to hands and knees too. Right foot steps forward. Lower the back knee, the left knee, and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms reach, 90-90 lunge. Front foot energetically, it's going to drag back. Turn on your left glute, hug your belly in, and find that length from the side body. One more breath in. And then exhale, hands reach down, step back or step forward into your fold. So both feet at the top of the mat, and then inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold, lengthen, bend, and you're hinging at your hip. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, the top of the foot, arms reach, inhale. We'll take a little side body stretch here. Right hand grabs a hold of your left wrist. Find length first, so let your left shoulder blade reach up and then side body stretch to the right. Keep dragging that front foot back and squeezing your left glutes. You've got that opening in the hip flexor, and then come back to center. Release the hands, step back to plank. Push the earth away, strong legs, knees down, lower. Head of the arm bones stay lifted. Pull back cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck toes, push up, inhale, high plank. Down dog, exhale. Step your left foot forward, lower the right knee and the top of the foot, arms reach. We'll do that side body stretch here, but find that strong foundation in the legs first. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Reach up, let the shoulder blades lift, shoulder blade lift, and then side body to the left. Nice. Hug that right glute. Squeeze it in as you drag the front foot back. One more breath in. And exhale it out. Come back to center in your upper body. Hands land in front. Step forward and fold. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Dive down. Long spine. Right foot steps back. Lower the knee, but keep your toes curled under this time. Arms reach forward and up, 90-90. And then we're going to cactus or goalpost our arms. So pull the elbows out to the side. Hug the belly, contain the rib cage. And then just a little rotation to the left through your middle spine, your thoracic spine. So you're going to exhale to the left, inhale back to center. Exhale. So the pelvis isn't moving. We're moving through the rib cage, kind of freeing up some tissue there. Two more. And then last one. Come back to center. Here's the change. Land the hands, plant them, lift your back knee, sweep your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Pause. So we did this in our dolphin. You're gonna kind of level your hips out here, push that left heel back, reach through your arms, and then take that leg out to the side. Abduction, out to the side. So we're just getting into the hips a little bit, kind of opening them up and working on some strength. Keep the leg out to the side, turn those toes down and tap the floor again. Really working into that outer hip, that glute medius. Last two, last one. Lift the leg. Here's the change. You're gonna bring that left knee to the mat. Land it. So kind of like you're coming into a gate pose. Turn your right toes, the ones that are facing back, turn them to face back, bend the knee. Left hand stays, and then you're gonna pull your right elbow up and let your left ear drop to your left shoulder. So that right foot is facing the back of your mat, the right knee is facing the back of the mat, and then we're lifting that right hip up, hugging the tailbone and the hips forward a little bit, and lifting the rib cage, and just let that head drop down, as long as your neck feels okay with that. But to me, this feels so good. I don't know how it feels to you, but I just love this. It opens up the side of the body for me in such a great way. One more breath. And then we'll come into plank pose. So right hand down, step the right foot back, step the left foot back. You're in your high plank. You can bring your knees down or challenge yourself and lower all the way down to your belly. You can keep the toes tucked if you'd like, or tops of the feet down, and bring your arms out into goal pose. And then lift your face away from the mat, lift your elbows up. Try to keep your elbows in alignment with the shoulder. So you're coming into this little back bend, glutes are active, and then pull your belly up away from the mat. So they're really gonna help support your low back, make it a little bit more challenging. See if you could just pull your abs up away from the floor. One more breath. And then release, hands under the shoulders, push up through plank, down dog. And take a moment in down dog, maybe sway the hips, pedal out the feet, do what feels good in the body. You wanna try to have even body weight between your hands and your feet. So pike and lift the pelvis up. Make sure your feet are at least hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Bend your knees and start to walk your hands back. So you're gonna come into this high happy squat, I call it. It's belly to thighs, hips stay pretty high, hands reach forward, and we drop the head between the upper arm bones. Couple big breaths into your upper back and your middle back. You're supporting your back because you're resting your front torso on your legs there. And then just slide the hands to the feet and stand all the way up at the back of your mat. Come all the way up. Roll those shoulders out a couple times. And then super simple, just walk to the front of the mat. We'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Long spine, exhale, fold. Left leg steps back, lower the knee, keep those toes curled under. 90-90 lunge, arms reach. And then we cactus, pause. Drag that front foot back, turn your left glute on, and then inhale, breath. And a little rotation to the right. Exhale, inhale, center. Exhale to the right. So nothing is moving from your pelvis down. This movement is happening through the middle part of your spine. Hug the shoulder blades down onto your back. Let's do one more here. And then come back to center. Release the hands, lift your back knee, right leg lifts, three-legged downward facing dog. Reach through those arms, strong lifted leg number, it doesn't have to be super high, and we'll take that leg out to the side and in. So those hip abduction, keeping that left leg strong and steady. One more. Hold the leg out, turn the toes down, and do those tap and lifts. Really working on strength and that glute medius. Two more. Try to relax the muscles of the face. Last one. Now bring the knee in and land it like you're coming in a gate post. Right hand stays down. Turn your left toes to face back, bend the knee, and then the left elbow reaches up, kind of like you're pulling a lawnmower string just up, and let the right ear, come to the right shoulder. And hug your hips in. Lift that left hip up, lift the left ribs, lift the left elbow. Couple breaths here. Really opening up, finding all that space in the left side of the body. And then let's release into our high plank. Left foot steps back than the right. And lower to the floor. Tuck the toes or keep them tucked, or keep the tops of the feet down, whatever feels better for you here. Come out into the goalpost, lift the face, lift the chest, lift the elbows, and breathe. And now hug the belly up and in away from the floor. You might even feel just the glutes take over a little bit more, protecting the back. One more breath in. And then release, hands under the shoulders, exhale. Inhale to plank, downward facing dog. Another moment here. Any sort of movement that feels good in the body, take it. And then we'll take those feet a little bit wide, walk the hands back to the feet or kind of out in front, and bend the knees, hinge at the hip, belly to the thighs, happy high squat. If you don't like this, just do a forward fold. Couple breaths into your mid and upper back. And then slide the hands to the feet. Inhale, stand up. And then walk to the front of the mat. All right, let's move on into our Sun A here. We'll do about 3 of them. Inhale, reach up. Remember, I'm taking the halfway lifts out of these. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees so you can plant the hands kind of out in front of your feet. Step back, plank. Knees can come down or lower, straight down. Tops of the feet glue to the mat. Take it into cobra, or maybe you push and lift into up dog, where the thighs and the knees lift. And then hips up and back, downward facing dog. And I know that most of you know your Sun A's. You can do 3 just however you'd like. You don't have to stick with me. Let's shorten the distance between the feet and the hands. So step them in a little closer. So you really got that pike up. This will prepare us for doing any sort of hopping or floating up into handstand. Lift the heels. Big breath in, bend the knees, big breath out. And then step forward, or you can even try a little hop to the top. All the way up, inhale. Feet press down as we rise up. Let's do it again. Exhale. Plant the hands out in front. Step or hop back now into plank. Lower halfway or all the way. So chaturanga into up dog, or you lower, come into cobra, and then meet in downward facing dog. Step those feet in a little bit closer, lift the heels, breathe in, bend the knees. And so as you exhale, remember, we're gonna hold that breath out as you either step forward or hop, starting to kind of pike those hips up, and then inhale, lift. One more, take it at your own pace. Feel free to modify. Take your time, move with your breath. Step the feet in a little bit. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, belly to thighs. Keep that. Think of hoisting up through the back of your sacrum, putting that weight into your hands, coming to your front of the mat, and then inhale, reach up. Hands to heart, exhale. Okay, Sun B here. Sit back into Utkatasana. Feet and knees can come together if you prefer, or feet and knees stay apart. Sink those hips back. Reach those arms forward and maybe slightly up. Find that nice long spine. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Take another breath in. Nice, and then forward fold. Step or hop back, plank. Move through your vinyasa. I'll modify. We'll meet in down dog. So remember, these sun salutations that we're doing are just a little bit different, a little bit not traditional. Step your right foot forward an inch or so. Lift your left leg into that 3-legged dog. And then we're just gonna play around with shifting forward and back. So you're gonna push off the right foot and kind of shift it forward and shift it back on your mat. So we're playing around with shifting that body weight into the hands a little bit more and then into the foot. And then now, with that right foot back, step your left foot between your hands, ground your back heel, warrior one, rise up. Internally, turn that back thigh in. Think of doing that rather than twisting and turning the pelvis forward. Back thigh rotates inward. One more breath, breathe in. And then exhale, hands come down, step into plank. Take your vinyasa. Nothing wrong with putting the knees down, just have control when you lower. Working the arms. We'll lift in down dog when you're ready. Left foot steps in an inch or two, lift your right leg. And then we'll shuffle kind of that foot forward and back. Kind of skim it, I guess is the word, forward and back. This is just preparing us for if you are interested in trying to hop and lift the legs up into a handstand. Take your left foot back, step your right foot forward, come up for warrior one, so ground the back heel, rise up. That back thigh rotates in to help bring the chest and the pelvis more forward. One more breath. Exhale, hands down and step back to plank. Move through that vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Stepping the feet in a little bit closer, especially if you want to try that little bit of a hop. So bend the knees, lift the heels, inhale, belly to thighs. So it's like you're kind of shifting those hips back and then push and lift the hips. It's a process. I don't know if I'll ever make it there. Inhale, but I keep trying and come on up. Bring it hands to heart, exhale. Okay, let's do that again. We're gonna add on a little bit here. Utkatasana, fierce pose or chair pose. Sit back, big breath in. Fold, big breath out. Hop or step, move through. Vinyasa, you can always add an extra push-up if you need a little more power. Today, we'll meet in down dog. Right foot steps in, lift the left leg, three-legged dog, and then you can shift forward and back again, or you can try to hop. That lifted leg is nice and energized, but we're gonna land now, left foot forward again, warrior one. Rise on up. And then let's bring the hands to heart center. Keep the legs as they are, so they're in this warrior one shape. Hands at heart center, hinge forward, hug the belly up and in, and then you're gonna take a prayer twist with the legs in warrior one. So right elbow just gently lands or hovers above that left thigh. And turn your gaze towards the left. Keep that back leg nice and fired on, fired up. And then from here, your right hand can come down on the floor, or if the floor is too far away and you have a block, use a block or tent the fingers. And then reach the left arm up. So you're in this kind of warrior one crescent or twisted shape here. Left arm reaches. And then if your front leg allows, you can even try to straighten that left knee. So then you're into more of like a revolved pyramid. One more breath. And then both hands to the mat, step back to down dog. We're gonna skip the vinyasa. We don't want to tire ourselves out too much here. Step your left foot in, lift your right leg. Practice skimming or hopping. You are going to land with that right foot forward, warrior one, come on up. And remember, our movement practice, our yoga practice does not have to be serious. We want to have some joy in it and some fun. So, no one can see you anyways. Well, Colleen, thank you, I can see you. But you're at home, you can do whatever you want. Bring your hands to your heart, hug the belly and hinge, and let's take that little prayer twist with our warrior one legs. So right elbow just gently, or left elbow, sorry, gently comes to that right knee. Take a little moment here to maybe slow the breath down. Put a little smile on your face, that helps. And then we'll bring the left hand to a block or floor, or you can even use that pillow or towel. And then maybe the right arm reaches and opens up as you turn to the right. And then maybe your front knee starts to straighten a little bit as you bring your right hip crease back. And getting this stretch in the top of that, back of that glute, maybe even up into the QL muscle. One more breath. And then release, both hands down. You're gonna just step back to down dog. Step on back. Stay for a nice, long, slow, deep breath in. And then let that breath out. Make your way to the top of the mat. That can be hopping or just stepping, or maybe floating those legs up into your handstand. Inhale, rise. Bring those hands to heart. All right, moving on here. Sit back, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Forward fold, good. Step it or hop it back, moving through your vinyasa. Maybe you add an extra push up, flip, come into cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot in, lift your left leg. So the change is gonna be that the left foot's gonna come forward into your 90-90 lunge. So if you want, you can play around with the hopping. You can play around with skimming that foot forward and back. Left foot forward, right knee down, toes stay curled under, 90-90 lunge. Good. Cactus the arms. Breathe in, turn to the left, exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. And then stay turned to the left. Right glute is active and stretch your arms nice and long. So you're in this kneeling twist here. Right hand's gonna come down. Lift your back knee and come into the simple twist. Maybe turn your gaze to look up, or you can even let your right ear come to your right shoulder and release that left side of your neck. Keep your right glute, your right hip lifted. And then quarter turn to the right, come into a side lunge, bending into your right knee. So you're facing the right long edge of your mat. Maybe reach your arms out in front, let your head drop between your upper arm bones, send your hips back. Getting into the abductor muscles now, the inner thigh on that left leg. And then lift your gaze, turn back to the front of the mat. Slide your left foot back on your mat a little bit. Come into a standing L, lift your right leg. Fingertips are fine right here. Think lifting the chest, lifting and lengthening the torso. Strong right leg. And then step that right foot down behind you, warrior one. Arms reach up. Good, hands to heart center. Take your prayer twist with warrior one legs to the left, right elbow to the left knee. And then little balance challenge, maybe float your right foot up. So you're gonna come into this kind of bent knee, twisted or prayer balancing pose. And then gently land. Release the hands to the floor, step back, down dog. Bring awareness to your breath. Just let your head hang, release your neck a little bit, relax the muscles of your face. And then we'll step that left foot in, lift your right leg, three-legged, and then maybe you play around with pushing off. The right foot's gonna land in front, 90-90 lunge. Left knee down, left toes curled. Inhale, reach those arms. Exhale, cactus. Turn on that left glute, breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. This time we're gonna hold it to the right, twist. Send your arms long. Good. Keep engaging that left glute and dragging that front foot back in. And then left hand comes down, lift your back knee, come into your simple twist. Maybe you let your ear kind of drop towards your shoulder. Try to relax the muscles around the eyes and the mouth. One more breath. And then we're gonna turn all the way to the left here into your side lunge. So now you're facing The opposite side of your mat, your left knee is nice and bent, right leg is straight. Walk your hands out in front, almost as if you're doing a down dog, and then let your head drop between your upper arm bones. Send your hips back. Breathe into the rib cage, both sides, and then lift the head, turn back to the front of the mat. Slide your right foot back, come into standing L. And a square level off the hips here. Push the left heel back. Shin draws up in towards the throat, so triple S alignment. And then back foot lands, front knee bends, warrior one, rise up. Hands to heart, take your prayer twist, left elbow, right thigh. And then look down at the floor to see if you can shift forward and float that back leg up. One more breath, find that balance. Good, and then land, hands land, step back, downward facing dog pose. Walk your feet in a little bit closer, lift your heels, hoist those hips up, bend the knees, exhale, hold your breath out, and step or hop. Inhale, rise up, we're at the front of the mat, hands to heart. This is it, last little bit. Utkatasana, sit back. Breath in, exhale, fold. Take your vinyasa, we'll meet in down dog. All right, here we are in downward facing dog. Right foot steps in, left leg lifts. Push or shift. Left foot forward, right knee lands. 90-90, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Twist left and open the arms, stay. Right hand down, left arm up, lift the back knee. So we're just doing the same thing, a little bit quicker. We're gonna add one thing on though. Turn to the right, side lunge. Turn to the front, standing L. So you have the option for more of a standing split now, walking the hands closer to your feet, grabbing the ankle maybe, or hands out in front and pushing off, coming into maybe a little float. And we will meet this time in warrior two. So open up, your left foot is forward, right leg is back, warrior two. Settle your gaze over your left fingertips. Flip the palm, reverse it. Inhale or exhale breath. To me, it doesn't really matter, whatever feels better in your body. And then warrior variation, forearm to thigh, right arm reaches up and over. So it's kind of like extended side angle. Arm can reach up if your shoulder doesn't feel good with that arm forward. And then reverse it. Cartwheel hands down. Step down dog. Just finish this out on the other side. Left foot steps in, right leg lifts. You might try your push-offs or skim that foot forward and back a couple times. Woo! Right foot's gonna come forward. Left knee will land. Inhale, arms reach up, 90-90 lunge. Cactus arms. Turn to the right. Straighten your arms, open. Inhale. Left hand lands, simple twist, lift your back knee, exhale. Stay for a breath. As you exhale, turn to the left now, lateral lunge, side lunge, left knee bends. Lift the chest, long spine, turn back to the front. Slide your right foot back, standing split, standing L or handstand hops. Gonna kind of fit all this in here at the end of class. Woo. It's okay if you fall. Remember, if you do get your legs up and you feel like you're gonna fall, try to do a cartwheel. And then we're gonna land warrior two. Open up. Right foot is forward, left leg is back, arms stretch long. Steady your drishti, your gaze over your right fingertips. Find those nice strong legs and then move through reverse warrior. Maybe holding for an extra breath. Finding all that space in the right side. And then when you're ready, coming into your variation of extended side angle. Reverse it. Cartwheel hands down. Down dog. Woo, that's it. Knees down. Let's take a child's pose. Hips to heel, knees nice and wide. You might turn your palms to face up as you bring your forehead down. You can kind of shimmy your hips a little bit side to side. Settle here for about 3 breaths. Nice job. 45 minutes goes by so fast. There's so much we could do if we had more time. Okay. Bring yourself up. So I'll just give you an option. Either you can go into half pigeon if that feels really good in your body, or come around onto your back for figure 4. So you decide what you need today. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with the figure 4s. So you'll be coming onto your back for that. We'll start with the right ankle crosses over the left thigh. And then pick up that left foot. You can stay here if this is it. We don't want to lift the butt up, so we want to keep the sacrum down. If you're able to, grab the back of your thigh, relax the head down. Or maybe you can grab around the front of your left shin and draw those legs in. You can kind of roll out your ankle here a little bit on that left foot. If you have the back of your thigh, you can do a couple little nerve flossing of that sciatic nerve, extending and bending at the knee there. But you also get a nice little stretch in your hamstring. And of course, if you're in your half pigeon, you can keep the chest upright. You can fold over that front leg. Stay as long as you want to. You can always do Shavasana on your own. But try to at least get a couple minutes in Shavasana. I know it's such an easy pose to skip, but it's like so important, so good for us to have that active rest. Let's go ahead and slowly, mindfully switch sides. And like I said, if you want to stay longer and half pigeon on that side, go for it. You can always just stop, ignore the video. Left ankle crosses. Pick it up, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. Tuck the chin slightly, find that length in the back of the neck. Maybe roll up the ankle. Maybe go into those extension and flexions and nerve flossing. Really bringing awareness to your breath here as you slow everything down. So drawing the air in through the nose as if you're breathing in through like a little straw. So you've got this kind of thin stream of air moving in and out. And then we'll release. If you are in half pigeon and you're coming out, make your way onto your back. Set up for Shavasana. If you need any other stretches, you want to take a twist, you want to take a happy baby, go for it. Otherwise, send your legs long down the mat or flip and lay onto your belly if that feels better. Find a placement for your hands that feels comfortable and comforting to you. And it might take a second to kind of feel out what you need today. And then notice if you're gripping anywhere in the body. Just kind of take a quick scan and ungrip from where you're holding on. You're holding just that little bit of tension. It could be just right in your glutes there a little bit, not letting, the glutes kind of want to hold on sometimes. It can be the muscles around the eyes or the face that are holding on. Just allow yourself this stillness, this time for digestion. Your body's digesting that practice, digesting that movement. I just kind of like to imagine all my little cells and stuff like rearranging, and they're all happy. And now, they just had all this movement, and now they just get to kind of settle and rejuvenate. And if you ever want to connect with me, outside of Pure 8, just to, we could be friends on Facebook, Tracy Anderson. I live in Beaverton, or on Instagram, it's Tracy BAND. So yeah, I'm always up for that too, just to have a little more connection with people since we don't get to see each other. Take as long as you need. My hands are at my heart. Thank you so much for practicing this opportunity that we still get to connect online is amazing. I hope you enjoyed that movement practice, and just remember, keep moving your body. It helps the mind, it helps that depression that can set in, especially in the winter. And I thank you so much. Have a great day.